Okay. Let me
See, we're live.
let me get this going.
Okay, what you getting going?
I can see.
Oh, comments and.
Yeah.
Now, how you gonna see comments on that thing?
I don't know. I gotta
You
get
need
it
to
changed.
use the other phone.
I need to get it changed out tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Hey guys, how are y'all?
Hey,
if you're
everybody.
there, just leave us a comment, say hello.
Hope everybody's doing okay tonight. It's weird.
What's weird? That screen?
No, not the screen. It ain't showing up on my phone. I'm going to go physically go pull it up. How's it going, Spencer?
Oh, hey.
Oh,
It's going.
All right.
I got time off of work. I went in today and they said, we changed your hours. I looked at them. I was like, do what? They said, we changed your hours. I was like, longer or shorter? They said, shorter. I said, okay, I can handle that. Mr. Kilpatrick's here as well.
Hello, Mr. Kilpatrick.
And then I had to work Tuesday and unload a truck, so I have tomorrow off too, which is
Unusual.
very unusual.
Yeah, unusual to get a part of a Friday and a Saturday off.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow we're going to spend some time digging some
plant
holes since I can't work in the field since it's too wet out there.
We had planned to do planting tomorrow, but we got some rain last night and early this morning, and Miss Sherry's here too.
Hey Sherry, how you doing?
Better late than never.
Oh, you on time?
The alert. Donna and I are sitting at her computer.
Hey Donna.
Hi. So yeah.
Yeah, Spencer got on to me about not posting it on people's pages. I told Rebecca, I said, go post them real quick.
Yep.
It's we don't think about it. It's just, it's one of them things.
Yeah, we're usually running to get in here and get the live set up even. So we've got to learn StreamYard, but that requires being able to sit down and learn StreamYard.
We may be able to have a chance this weekend.
Got it logged in, and I've downloaded it, whatever you got to do to it, and created the usernames and passwords, and I just ain't played with it. So
there we go. Yeah.
Mr. Kilpatrick said he likes the Wednesday show.
Do what now?
Mr. Kilpatrick said he liked the Wednesday show.
Oh, okay. I appreciate it.
And Sherry said them too. Too much to do.
Yeah, it's that time of year for everybody where it's hard to make time. And
what in the world is going on with this computer? There we go. You don't have to learn StreamYard, but you should. And you should definitely learn to post on Facebook page. Yeah, we need to learn.
Yeah, we need to. I agree 100%.
It's not learn to post, it's remember to post.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we need to make sure we're doing that. So, so go ahead and get started, babe.
As I say, Mark said I should start talking about irises first.
Talk a little bit about that.
We are in the bloom time for all of the many varieties of irises that we have planted. One of my favorite plants is iris. My other favorite is probably peonies or peonies, depending on where you're from. But we bought a bunch of different varieties from Shriners. They are expensive, but they are worth it. In the video I put out on Facebook the other day, I think I put it on the farm page. I think I did a live for the farm page, Cedar Creek Bottoms, and I did a live and told which ones were blooming at that time and gave their names. And then at the end of it, I showed you one that I had ordered from a different company. And the difference between those and the ones I got from Shriners is like night and day. All of the Shriners irises have mostly been exactly what they were pictured as. I can type in a name and pull it up, and that's what's blooming in my yard. The ones I ordered from the other company, not so much. The plants aren't as big. They're not as vigorous. They're not blooming like they are even supposed to. So the one that has bloomed from that company in 2 years now, by the way, 2 years it has taken for one to bloom. The plants are just small, and the one that has bloomed is not even the right color. It's just amazing. So no, I don't get paid by Shriners or anything like that, but I highly recommend them as a good resource. I also highly recommend that when you are looking for irises, don't buy the cheapest ones you can find. There's a lot of other good companies out there. Spend the money on the quality product. If you go back and watch the videos from where I planted those irises, I mean, Shriner's tubers are big, and they had nice leaf growth on them and everything. And then this other companies, they were like this big and barely had a leaf on them, and they were half dead and everything, and they've struggled. So spend the money on the product that you're wanting, especially if it is an investment. We have several out there that are blooming and growing very nicely. So we hope to have some of those named varieties of iris for sale later this year. Most of those will be divided up come fall. So be paying attention to the blooms and all now. And they're kind of being posted, like I said, in the order. We call it the iris race. They're posted in the order that they bloom. That way you can get an idea of the time frames that they bloom. I have not made a point of which ones are the biggest and which ones are the smallest and things like that, but you've got good pictures of what the bloom looks like and the time frame, whether it's early or later in the season. So I've also made sure to point out which ones have been the longest bloomers. Like they hold that bloom for a good period, or there has been multiple blooms on it. Last year, I think Care to Dance was the longest running blooms. And this year it bloomed like 1 week and that was it. So this year we've got a couple of others that have outperformed and stayed blooming longer than the rest. But we've got several left still to bloom. So if you're interested in irises, make sure you check that out. All right, let's see who all has talked.
Hey, Misty, how you?
Let's see. Keep in mind, it's not about being super popular. It's about letting your followers know. That's correct. Most of the time they want to interact and they just don't know. Hello to everyone. We just bought a Monstera. In fact, 2 of them. Apparently they do. Monsteras get huge. And yes, you spend money on a Monstera. I have I have the philodendrons, not the Monsteras. And I just bought a Prince of Orange simply because I can't afford all those other Monsteras. There's one at work that I am looking at that I want to purchase, and I just have not had the desire to just bring home a plant that's going to get that big. So yeah, Monsteras are beautiful, and houseplants are awesome.
Oh, let's see. Have you through talking about ours?
I've done answered all the comments on there.
Oh, okay.
While you were looking at your phone.
All right.
So yeah, we're done talking about irises.
Well, you want to tell them what we planted today so far?
We planted 2 roses.
2 miniature knockouts.
Oh yeah. If y'all have not seen miniature knockouts, they're just cool. They are 18 inches tall max. Perfect for pots. Evergreen. Come back every year. I mean, and bloom most of the season on top of that. We had a shipment that came in, and as they were unloaded it off the truck, the rack they were on tipped over and busted a lot of pots and stuff. So I got a really good deal on them. And we planted a couple of them today.
Put them in our campfire area in her, where she's got the plants. All that stuff's actually starting to take off, looking good.
Starting to fill in.
So all we like now on the campfire side is getting the lights up and put some fresh gravel down.
Yep. And more mulch.
Well, I got to finish the rock way.
Yeah, we got to do the rock way around the back.
Yeah, I got to finish that. So.
And that's not a you thing. That's a we thing.
Yeah. Well, turkey season's over on the club, so I might go up there and find some more pretty flat rocks.
We may not need them. We need to place the ones we got before we go get more. Yeah.
But yeah, that the flowers here are finally really starting to show
Oh,
out,
yeah.
and our fruit trees are actually starting to
Mhm.
look.
They're looking
decent.
good.
They're starting to. We need to fertilize them
Except
too.
them poor figs. Well, I did.
That's right, you did. I forgot about that. But,
I didn't fertilize the figs.
the Jimmy Red corn is up. I planted it last
Hi,
Sunday
Rhonda.
evening. I hated to plant on a Sunday, but I didn't have much choice. Hey, Rhonda, how you? But the Jimmy Red's up
Hey, Misty.
about ½ inch, but the evergreen ain't up yet, but it may start popping. I did see cantaloupes up.
Hey, tonight is the talk about anything night. So whatever that question is, go ahead and put it.
Oh yeah, anything.
So
Well,
because we got stuff to talk about there too.
yeah, we got Bigfoot and all that and other critters to talk about. So
Yep.
so
We
and even found out some more.
paranormal investigation possibly going on, and including Bigfoot and everything. So
Yeah. So we'll.
hopefully
So
we can get
something's
the
got
video
stirred.
they have of that one to
Yeah,
share.
something's got stirred up, so we'll find out. But, tomorrow night, of course, we're supposed to go out to Talladega National Forest.
Yeah,
On that little,
Jonathan Odom.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go listen. Go see what happens. If anything, be there.
Oh,
You know.
so I don't know if I'm going to share that yet, because I haven't heard any of it yet. But Mark was telling me when he was taking his Bigfoot report about some of the stuff that's going on there. They shared a video of a cigarette just spinning. Did you say it got picked up and moved and put down somewhere else and spun? So nothing picked it up and moved it and set it down?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
That's when I couldn't remember if the moving was part of it or if somebody picked it up and moved it to a different spot.
And they didn't do it real fast. This was a real slow, and the lady has seen a few other things. So, but she's had some other unique stuff going on. That's the signature of a Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm. She thought it was just the meth heads.
Yeah, she thought it was meth heads messing around. They did have problems over there with people at one time.
Mm-hmm.
I think most of that bunch is gone. And some of the stuff she started telling me about, I'm like, that don't sound like no meth heads. But she did get a good look at one. I do have part of it already on video, but I want to go back and sit down with her some more. Just me and her, and maybe Rebecca, because
keep going.
One of the other neighbors had walked over, and I think she kind of got nervous. But come to find out, this neighbor had some stuff going on too, I think. Mm-hmm. So I think the whole little neighborhood over there is having something going on. And that ain't far from us.
Barry. So. I think this is Barry. Yeah, Barry.
So
Barry
we'll yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Hey, hope you're well. Going to watch the replay, of course. Noah has me at Lee Branch. Have fun. Replay is perfectly fine. Glad you got to come on and say hello, Miss Rhonda. And now back to Sherry's response. Good question, Spencer. You ready for Spencer's question?
Uh-oh.
That was what I said about.
Ain't no telling about Spencer.
I'm just curious if you think the blooming plants have anything to do with attracting the boogers, or if you think that it's just this time of year that they come towards y'all's home instead. We've had less activity with the blooming.
When our activity really started racking up was last, July, August, September. That's when we found the prints.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the house was getting hit. That's when, and then kind of when winter got here, it kind of tapered off. But also at the same time, our other neighbor across through the woods was having issues. And then she said it tapered off.
And now these other ones.
This started over here about a month ago. When was that first time we went over about the chicken coop?
I don't remember.
Whenever it was.
But it started before we went over there. So
it's
at least a month ago.
So
they're definitely moving in the area. So we were getting it, and then they were getting it, and then they came back to us for a little bit, and then they went over here. So
Well, I got a sneaky feeling he probably, it's opinion, of course. He probably visits everybody every
he
night.
does, but he's making racket um, in individual places instead of all of the places.
Well, like I told you last Saturday night, I got woke up after everybody
Oh
left,
yeah, by the howl.
and you know,
When I told you I've been
well, it wasn't
hearing,
really a howl; it was a roar.
well, that's
It really wasn't a howl; it was a whoa. You know, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what? And Bradney was out there in his camper, which he had fans running.
right.
He didn't hear it, but he told me. He said, I did wake up around that time period.
But I've told you before that I've heard strange noises outside
Oh, I know.
I couldn't identify. And then trouble barking.
Well,
The trouble barking thing is
I can't
wild.
put my finger on this yet. And what I mean, I know we got boogers here. I can put my finger on that.
Yeah.
The tracks, the eyewitnesses, the chicken coop getting open, the other tracks, the way the grapes got ate over yonder, the guy seeing half of it in the woods when he's cutting grass. I mean, and all the other stuff, and hearing the vocals. I know I got something here. I mean, ain't no doubt about it. And I even got the glimpse of him that day back when I was putting that deer feeder up. So I know.
Oh, you got him more recent too.
Well, I don't know that for a fact.
Oh, okay. I thought you did that day.
I seen
That's
movement.
why you had me looking.
Well, I had you looking. I seen movement, but I don't know what that movement was.
And then there was that day I saw movement.
Yes, you saw movement. So, and again,
Now, what I saw, I don't know. So, y'all keep that in
and
mind.
it's got where sister will not enter the woods down there hardly, unless you're about there with her. Every time I go out in the big field, she will walk that perimeter, but she keeps a little space, and she pays attention.
And she don't go far.
She used to want to run in there all the time. She got where she went, and that might be her just getting older. I don't know, but that like she knows something's here too. So
Yeah.
So I don't know. We have had a few animals go missing, not us. We had something get chickens.
Yeah, we've lost a couple chickens, but we don't think it's that because we found the bodies right there too. So,
but there are 4 cats missing that is, we don't know. A couple of them we know what happened to them, but, and then there's a dog that's missing. So I don't know. And that could be anything. I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it yet. Exactly what they were doing. I don't know if they're staying here or they're coming off the mountain or they're coming from another direction. Is this a summertime place hangout for them because we're growing crops? These people leaving dog food on porches, cat food on porches. Is this a birthing area? Is this where females coming to have young? I mean, there's all kind of ideas. I mean, to the north of us ain't nothing but woods and swamps and creeks. I mean, houses, but they're scattered. Railroad right here at us that's pretty much stays in the woods all the way to the river and goes through a bunch of creeks and swamps. So I don't know. It's can't get my head wrapped around it good yet, but may figure it out. I wish I could go on a lot of this property around here, but a lot of it's private, and I don't want to stir up neighbors. I guess I need to go ask permission. What I need to do, but what I'm gonna ask permission for? Looking for something. I mean, how you gonna come out and say, "Well, I want to look, see if you got any booger sign on your property." I mean, I don't know. I'm about to figure that out. Y'all give me some help. What would I ask to get on somebody's property without telling a full-fledged lie? Because I don't like telling lies. So how would I be able to get on somebody's property? Maybe then I could look around and see if there's something else there too. I mean, that's a good, legit question.
All right. So no, we have not had chickens come up missing. We have had chickens found dead. We did have the neighbor that we took a report from. Remember the coop that they were debating what took the chicken. That's what we're talking about. The missing chickens. Our entire neighborhood is missing cats. Now we know one of them was shot. But several cats in our area have come up missing, including our own. I don't know if any of y'all remember Mooshie, but Mooshie has been missing since we went to Kentucky. So
Yeah, I mean,
we are trying to figure out if there's a connection there to missing dogs, missing cats, chickens, things like that. If there's maybe they're trying to get food. I will also say that when hunting season came in, all the deer disappeared.
Pretty much.
And they haven't been back.
Well, there were some tracks out there.
But not like there used to be.
No, the deer hadn't been here like they've been.
So
the year before last, you couldn't walk out the door without 20 deer standing there.
So we may have Bigfoot food issue going on. We are speculating. We don't know if there's a connection to the missing chickens, missing cats, etc., etc. We don't know. We're speculating because all of this is happening in the same area as our reports.
Might as well say within a mile radius. Of there's a good bit going on. Then we're 2.5 miles from Creepy Mountain.
Right.
So,
Yes, neighbors had chicken missing. We did a show on that one because they thought it was a raccoon. They found the track in their garden, and there was no scratches on the coop or anything like that.
It was a double latch.
Yeah, with a double latch.
I mean, a coon could figure that out after a while, but he would make scratch marks on the wood, and it was up pretty high.
And they found another track.
Yeah, we'll have to. We'll be talking about that later. I was gonna go see them tomorrow, but they're not going to be available tomorrow. So,
and Spencer says his corn ain't growing. Probably still too cool.
Mine's up. I planted it last Sunday. The Jimmy Red. It's up about 1/2 inch.
But it's been cooler than normal lately.
The evergreen is not up yet, so I don't know what's going on.
Hey, Janelle.
Hey, Janelle. So, yes, we got boogers here at the house. I mean, I've got a glimpse of him. One neighbor's got a glimpse of him, and then this lady got a full-fledged, got a good look. I'll go ahead and tell you what it looks like, even though I'll do it later on the video. He's white-faced. He's 7 to 8 foot tall. He was on all fours when she seen him.
Thought it was a dog.
Thought it was a big, shaggy dog.
And
she was sitting on the steps at 11 o'clock at night, smoking a cigarette. She thought it was a dog, so she went to calling it to feed it. This is where it gets weird. She said, man, that's a big old dog. But she said, come here, Poochie. Come here, Poochie. She said, the thing turned, looked at her, and the only reason she got a look because there was a street light from the neighbors, and there was enough ambient light, not ambient light, but enough light coming over, just enough to light up his face when he turned and looked at her. And she said it was a big white hair all right here. She couldn't see his eyes, but she could see this part was all just white, like with a beard. It was flat-faced. It didn't have a muzzle. Because I asked her that. She said, no, this was flat-faced looking. She said it looked right at her, and that's when it stood up on 2 legs, wheeled around, went straight across the gravel road into the woods, and she said it probably took 3 or 4 steps. When I go back over, I'm going to video from where it was at to where she seen it go in the woods, which I videoed it the other day, but I didn't have a lot of time, so I'm going to go back and kind of go through this. Her trailer's been getting hit on, been smelling smells. Some of the other neighbors have been having some weird stuff happen.
Flat Rock says hello.
Hey, Flat Rock, good to see you again, man.
Crystal says hello.
Hey, Crystal. Enjoyed having you last week, Flat Rock. I didn't get to spend a lot of time up on the mountain with y'all, but I'm glad you finally got to make it up on Creepy Mountains. I wish I could have a big outing up there and not have to worry about it and just invite a bunch of folks and have a good time up there one weekend. And I'm talking about, where I can have a bunch of people. But unless I get all the money and I get the lease and put it back in my name.
Yeah, that would be a good way to do it.
I don't know if I can come up with that much money. Woo! But be nice to buy the place. What would be nice. So this over here is going to be ongoing. It's probably going to be ongoing for a little while, and then we'll watch and see what happens on as we get into heated part of summer. There's a lot of water here, but a lot of ponds. I think there's 7 ponds right here in just this little area. There's springs. There's swampland behind us that keeps water in it pretty much year round. Thick woods. Plenty of food. I mean, if you really want to get at it, there's plenty of food here. Or if food's starting to get exhausted, I don't know. It may be getting exhausted, but I think while the booger was over there was getting dog food off the next door neighbor's porch, because that's the way he was pointed when she seen him. I think he was heading for the dog food because the next door neighbor said something had been getting into dog food. They leave the dog food out on the front porch.
Yep.
Yeah,
do it.
Because if the lady told me she thought it was going after the dog. I'm going, well, I mean, maybe so. But then when I dug a little deeper, found out that the other neighbor was leaving dog food on the porch, I said, okay. I got a sneaky feeling what's going on now with this. But we'll have that here pretty soon, and hopefully have that report here pretty soon. It might not be this coming up week. It might be the next. I just got to kind of get everybody together again, and I want to go through the paranormal stuff too. Maybe do that as a separate video too, or I may just let the lady tell it all. I don't know.
There you go.
Just go ahead and spill the whole beans. And she talked about vibration. That caught me off guard.
Vibrations again.
I did not bring that up. She brought it up. Talking about sometimes she feel vibrations. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So that threw me for a curve. I wasn't expecting that to come out of her mouth. That's once I got over and really got to speaking to the lady, stuff started coming out more. And I'm like, wait a minute, I mean, in other words, stuff started adding up, and just made me think that he's been here a while. Yeah. Now, it may be just coming for a certain period of time, and he's disappearing. Maybe he moves out of here a little bit Maine winter because he knows some people hunt around here, so he might get in a place where nobody hunts. And then when he knows hunting season's over, he's back. I don't know. It's hard to say. Or I ain't going to say just he. There's several of them. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see where Spencer's going to have Mr. Barry on Sunday. That'd be cool. That'd be good.
Janelle's bringing some old Roy next visit.
Huh?
Janelle said she's going to bring some old Roy next visit.
Might be something. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, well, I've always heard people talking about them getting in dog food and horse feed and hog feed and chicken feed. And,
yep.
I mean, the lady in Childersburg that time that called me, and one day I'll go over that report. They were seeing something run across the road up there in Childersburg, and when I went to digging into it, and I even called the Childersburg Police Department, tried to talk to them about it. They wouldn't speak to me about it. They told me it was a kid running around in a costume. Mm-hmm. And I'm going, like, a kid running around in a costume in the middle of July. going up on people's porches is a good way to get shot,
Yeah, it is.
especially in the neighborhood he was fooling around in. But then I started getting a few phone calls from some of the people who lived up in there. And when I went and started really digging into it, one was coming up on a lady's back porch getting cat food. She's washing dishes, heard a little racket on the back porch. Her sink was right by the door where her light switch was. She flips the light switch on and gets scared half to death while it's looking back at her. It jumps off the porch and runs. And she said, there wasn't no way that was somebody in a costume, because she said it was too darn fast and it was too darn ugly. And she said, whoever, if that was a costume, hey, somebody knows how to do it. She said, I don't think nobody around Childersburg, Alabama can do Hollywood type stuff, So, so when I got to digging into that, then I kept hearing about other reports. And then my other research partner, Adam, started going up there kayaking that creek that was pretty close by and had some activity happen. You got some limb breaks happen while he's out there, stuff thrown at him while they was in the creek. They couldn't ever see nothing to hear stuff crashing through the woods. This was a mile away from where them houses were, so I'm pretty sure that booger was coming up around them houses at night. And the initial report is from 3 guys that worked out at the paper mill. At the time, the state of Alabama was putting a bridge in, so you had to go around. And they're the first 3 to see it one night when they crossed the road about 11 o'clock at night. They were going to check some pumps, and they had to come around to get to the pumps on the other side of the river. And that's when they, and one day I'll tell that report completely. And in fact, I got to talk to all 3 of them. They described the same thing, what went on. These were very credible guys. And then, of course, later on when the woman called me, and then some other people called me. Of course, Childersburg Police Department said somebody run around in a gorilla suit. So, and I even got Mr. Tall involved in it at the time. He called them, and he said that's a stubborn bunch of policemen there in Childersburg. And he was ex-policeman, and he said I'll call and talk to him. And he called me back. He said that bunch up there. He said they don't want to talk about nothing.
They are something else. So Flat Rock said that's what they come up on their porch for, dog and cat food. Crypto Crystal, they're known for snatching all kinds of animal food. Barry says the Dogman sighting he heard about in Steele was 10 to 15 years ago, and he's trying to find the podcast he heard it on for you.
Okay, cool.
Crystal says she's got a smiling, laughy face about the costume.
Yeah,
because people run around in 4-covered costumes in the
middle of summer.
Yeah. Oh, and there's Joe.
Hey,
and
Joe.
Pat. Hey, guys.
Hey, Joe and Pat. Good to see y'all. Yeah, Barry, I didn't even realize you had lived in Gaston for a while. So you're probably familiar, too, with the white thing, they call it in Alabama, the Alabama white thing that's seen up there in Etowah and St. Clair and Morgan County, all that. That's a big thing still up there in that neck of the woods up in there. But I didn't know you had lived in Gaston for a while. I work with a lot of guys that live in Rainbow City and Southside and Glencoe. And, of course, I work there in Lincoln, which ain't far from Gaston. So I'm pretty familiar with that area up in there. There's a lot of woods up there around Gaston and places, especially on that on that Raglan side of the river back towards Steele, and then up there on Sand Mountain, there's some woods in there. And then when you get up above Gaston toward Collinsville, going back toward Fort Payne, there's a lot of woods up through there.
Oh. So yeah, the show's both Bigfoot and Garden. You have questions? I said, so yeah, the show is both Bigfoot and Garden.
Yeah.
It's anything you want to talk about. Except chitlins. We don't talk about chitlins. That's for you, Spencer. We don't talk about squirrels.
Yeah, because you and Misty are squirrels.
So we're not taking sides. We're not picking and choosing. He said he lived in Rainbow City for 7 or 8 years. He also lived in Hoover and Chattanooga for a while.
Okay.
So.
Cool. That's cool. That's a pretty area up in there. Real pretty. All back up in there around Gaston. Get back up there in them ridges up in there. It's a little different up in there than it is down here.
Mm-hmm.
Not much different, but a little different. So. You're probably familiar with Lincoln, where I work at too. It's right there on the river, right across from Pell City. They're right off of I-20. A lot of wood still in there, even though Pell City is growing like crazy. But, let's see.
So what time we got to cut it short tonight, Babe? Since you got to go to work.
What time is it?
It is 7:35.
We'll go about 10 more minutes.
Okay.
If anybody got any questions about homesteading or boogering or hey can Squatch, good to see you, man. Anybody got any questions they want? Or anything? That I can answer. I ain't no expert.
So one of the comments on one of our videos asked if we had plowed before we put the plastic down. Yes. We did. We tilled it up really good before we put the plastic down.
Well,
However, that is also part of what I think allowed the stuff not to stay stapled down very well, because it was so soft, it blew it up.
Well, actually, what I done was I broke something with a breaking plow. Then,
we made it good and soft this time.
Then I came through with a chisel plow behind it,
Mm-hmm.
and then put the tiller on, and I went down in some dirt.
Who is Scott? Can Squatch?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't even see
He's
that person on here. Hi, Can Squatch.
Yeah, he comments every now and then on some of the.
I didn't know he was on here.
Yeah, he's
That's what I'm saying.
On with the beast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Spencer's got to go get cooking. He'll keep listening. Misty's working on cleaning paint out of something, so she's listening but can't comment. Barry says he's also familiar with Sylacauga. He sold for Consolidated Freightways, and Sylacauga was in his sales territory.
Okay.
That is cool. Let's see. Can Squatch said, "Get to work, Spencer." He's jumping back in. Scott is from the Beach channel. I bet that means beast.
Yeah, he's done some shows and stuff over on
salmon
Beast
recipe. I bet Mark would like a salmon recipe too.
Yeah, I love salmon. Boy, my mama used to fry that up. Woo! Boy, but also I like it baked or grilled.
So whatever salmon recipe this is, you might want to share it to all of us.
You
I
don't
won't eat
fish.
I won't eat it, but I might cook it for you one day.
Okay.
Because I don't eat
Yeah, I ate
fish.
fish today for
So.
lunch.
I said
It was pretty
Misty's
good.
cleaning paint or something, so she's not commenting, but
Yeah, we're
she is
fixing to-
listening. So
We're fixing to get started on our
oh,
projects.
Spencer promised a video. Yeah, that better be shared to a lot of us.
Yeah.
So
Just
yeah.
put it on the Woods Walker page.
Mhm. And feel free to share it to the Cedar Creek Bottoms page. Yes.
Yeah, we're a lot of our projects is fixing to start here once I kind of get the planting squared away. I'm gonna start tearing out those garage doors, getting a regular door put in and a window, and then
Yep.
I'm gonna fix and just rip out that faucet in that bathroom.
Gonna have to or something.
Yeah, that's gonna be a chore.
Spencer grills his salmon.
Yeah, that's good. I've ate it all kind of ways. It's
I
good.
don't eat it.
Now, Mama used to make what they call salmon croquettes,
Mm-hmm.
the patties, and that's good.
The fried salmon stuff mixed with the bread and whatever.
Well, she'd mix it with egg and
Yeah.
a couple other
Yeah.
ingredients, and she'd
Yeah.
fry that up. And
My
then,
mama craved that stuff when she was pregnant with me, and I can't stand it.
and then
Kind of like Ella with tomatoes.
I'll tell you something else I like. You know, we don't have it down here much. Is trout. Trout is a very good eating fish.
Mhm.
But you know, I'm a
Cats
I
eating
love
fish as we talk.
crappie too. But crappie is probably my favorite freshwater fish.
Mhm.
Them and brim. But I've ate trout before in different places, and I liked it. It was ain't good tasting fish. Our water just ain't cold enough for them down here. Now, well, I mean, like Hatchet Creek, and there's some places that hold them. but they don't hold a big population. Now, Alabama stocks a bunch of them in different places, but it's more up north Alabama. And then you have to fight everybody to fish to get in there to them because they do it right below Smith Lake and somewhere up there around Gaston. They let some loose. It may be in that Big Canoe Creek or maybe in Terrapin. But Terrapin, it ain't a real cold creek, I don't think. But it's one of them creeks back up in there somewhere. They stock some. I've read about it.
I love to fish. I just don't like to eat it. Sherry said she loves trout too. Jim used to trout fish. She'd starve to death if she had to catch them though, because she can't fish worth crap. I love to fish. I just can't stand fish. Can Squatch says, crappie. Janelle says she's got rainbow in the freezer. And for some reason, Can Squatch is asking Barry if he put his pipes to work on the camp out.
I have no idea.
I'm wondering what this pipe is.
I don't know.
So,
Mr. Barry may have to tell us what the pipes are about.
Yeah.
Or he may not want to. I don't know.
He may not. I'm assuming vocal pipes, but you know.
I don't know. Yeah, crappie is my favorite freshwater fish.
No, unfortunately, I stayed in camp when they went. I had the dog with me, and I didn't want to ruin anyone's LBL experience. I had a great time, though.
That's good.
Cool. Vocal cords, yeah. Bigfoot calls. Okay. That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure. I know when most people talk about pipes, it's a singing pipe. So I was like, we're singing to Bigfoot now.
Flat Rock, if you still on there, that I know you told me you heard a tree knock. If you still on here, I think you heard a tree knock Saturday morning. I didn't get to talk to you or Pat Sunday morning when y'all left out. I didn't get to make it up there, but
we have our first co-star.
Yep. If he's still on him, Flat Rock, he may have done left out, but
or he's just watching and not typing, or listening and not typing. I mean, yes, at around 8. I can't read that. 5:15. 5:15.
What's that?
Yes, sir. Around 5:15.
That's right.
Tree knock.
That's what I thought he told me here. I know. Pat. He called me this evening talking to me about land, but he said that.
And Sherry's got a full-size shofar and death whistle now.
I've been thinking about that shofar.
So Barry does the most accurate booger call?
That's cool.
Huh. Interesting.
Well, if you're ever down this way, Barry, you may have to come and see if you can stir them back up on Creepy Mountain for me. They just don't answer much up there anymore. Which when Mr. Towel was here, he got them stirred up every time he come.
And their sister.
And
Jealous
of course, me and Keith got them stirred up a lot. Then they just quit all of a sudden. I think they knew we were doing it, and they finally just got tired of it. But that did go on for a while. Sister, get down. Just get down. Come on. Get down.
Yes, that's what I would like to know too. Sherry asked Barry, do you have it on podcast where we can hear it? Can Squatch said pretty much the same thing. Didn't I send you my file with him doing a call a few years ago? So, yeah, we would like to hear this at some point. So, just saying.
I need to call Coop.
Fool them once, it's hard to fool them again.
That's true.
That's what Barry said.
Yeah, that's true. That's why a lot of time me and Keith would try different things. Mr. Tall, the first time he came to Creepy Mountain, he used the elk call, and they answered him. And later on, sometimes I'd just do vocals, and they would answer, and Keith. And then we done the drum bull a couple times, got responses, and we got responses from other places of that drum bull. When Spencer and him was here, we pulled the drum bull, or I did a couple of times. We finally did get a vocal later. I don't know if it answered that drum bull or not, or if it just was hollering to the other ones. The ones on the club have got quiet. They just don't vocalize like they used to. And I don't know why. They just don't. But now sometimes I go to other places. Now, like down in Hollins, that group down there vocalized.
Sister, if you cause a fight.
They'll vocalize pretty much all the time. It's just kind of weird. Um, and there's another place down there, my friend's place on Hatchet Creek. That bunch down there usually answers. That bunch down there is mean though. I don't like going down there. I don't know why. When I get down there, I get the heebie-jeebies, and I'm ready to leave that place down there.
So Flat Rock said all the dogs were reacting to something in the woods towards the spillway up on the club.
Right. Yeah, I remember him telling me about that.
Well, in that period, we were there when everything went down in the woods.
Yeah, there was a couple times some weird stuff went on, and
Spencer's got him recorded. That's good.
good. Talking about the shofar, and I need to call Coonbo and talk with him a little bit about it, but I got thinking about that a little bit. You know, in the end of time, you know, it says the angels are going to blow. I know sometimes it says trumpets, then sometimes it says horns. I wonder, this is just speculation, if they're thinking that's the call of end of time coming. Or all the seals are fixing to be broke.
Maybe.
Because they know if they're part of that, which I think they are, something of that nature. I mean, I don't know that for 100%, but they kind of point that direction. If they are that, and they're hearing that shofar go off, and it's putting out that certain frequency or vibration, they understand and they know that means something. And that's why when they run up, they start looking and they standing like, okay, what we supposed to do? I mean, that's what I keep hearing people say when they use it and they come up, they just kind of stand around. I mean, it brings them all in and they just kind of stand there like, okay, what we supposed to do? And nothing happens for there and they end up just leaving. So I'm wondering if it's a call for the end of time now.
Could be.
Because he's going to use demons on the sinners and everything. And not just demons, but it talks about the beast. Not the Antichrist. I'm talking about beast of the fields and beast of this and that going to also be turned loose. Something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it ain't rolling stone, just something.
So Joe said the howl at Holland Camp was a good one. And then Spencer said right after Barry did the call, got an immediate response. Then when they got back to camp, we had a unsolicited response, and it was awesome. Sounded like a darn dinosaur. Y'all keep interrupting me. Making tacos. Hey, tacos is good. Gotta go. Seriously. Catch the rest tomorrow. Everybody take care. Have a good night. Bye, Spencer.
See you later, brother.
Joe also said something messing around his trailer in the night. They seen I Shine back behind where they parked at Holland's.
There's a lot goes on.
Tacos is good food. Joe,
Holland's is a very good place.
And babe, it's 7:49.
I know. Give me just a minute.
Go ahead. Just tell me.
My brain's on it. Let me finish.
Go finish
it. If you're wanting to come to a place in Alabama that's a public place, that's primitive, that is a good place to check out is the Holland's Hunters Camp. I know boogers are there because I used to belong to a hunting club that wasn't far from there. It had the boogers on there. Didn't know it for a long time. Mr. Tall went to that hunt club, and
that's the aggressive ones, isn't it?
Yeah, they kind of aggressive. The first outing we had there, some stuff went on. That's the night when, that morning early when Bradney left about 5 a.m. with his camper. They had to go to work. And, I thought he had got out of his camper and walked around it to check because the brake lights were on or the lights were on, and I seen that silhouette. But the silhouette was going the opposite way, and it wasn't the way Bradney was. And I heard the footsteps, and, of course, I called him later that morning and asked him if he got back out of that camper and walked around. He said no. He said, I was sitting in the truck getting my bearings together before I took off, and he said, I didn't see nothing, but he said, I will tell you, when I come out of that camper to get in my truck, it was one freaky, eerie feeling out there. He said, I don't know why, but he said, man, I felt funny when I got out of the camper and walked to the truck. And but there was a silhouette that came by our tent and went right down between us and Janelle and Pat, and went right on down toward Lori and Lauren down there. So, and that's when Lori told me her dog went to acting up down there in the tent with her about 5 a.m. The dog tried to get up under her, and she thought she heard something walk by. So, plus every time I've been down there, I feel vibrations. It's crazy. You just be laying there in the tent and feel a vibration start happening. And I don't quite understand what to make of that. And there's other people commented on that. I know Janelle, I think, felt that. And I think Flat Rock did that time. And there were some other people felt that vibration during the night. And when I went to check to see if it was an earthquake or not, maybe a little small earthquake, there was nothing mentioned. So I don't know.
Lori felt it too.
Yeah. So it was weird. And every time I go down there, I feel it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I guess we better get off here.
You need to, because you're going to be late for work.
Well, I hate to go, especially when we got some good chat going on in there.
Well, I know. That's one of the reasons for keeping it at 6.
Yeah. Well, we rode it back at 7 because of your job.
Mm-hmm. And daylight.
And daylight, because we knew a lot of people still be outside around 6 o'clock. And I mean.
And you don't normally work on Friday, so.
No, we're just trying to get some things caught up there. Much as I hate to go in, but which I probably won't go in too many more Friday nights. So
just stick with early on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, y'all, I hope next week to have you. I don't know if I have the video from the lady over here next door. I don't know if she was willing to talk to the video the other day. She don't want to be on camera, but she stood behind me and told me, behind the camera and told me. So I did go ahead and get part of it on video. But I want to go back and go over that again. Also see what the other neighbors got going on. And then I'm going to look around some real good and try to video it. Now, I won't show their houses out of respect. I don't want to show nobody's house or nothing. But
we getting off here too.
Well, I've enjoyed it tonight, and I hate to go. And I'm glad that y'all joined us tonight. And I'm glad to see some good commenting going on and talking. And that's what we want, is people talking with each other. And we might learn something from each other. Pretty cool.
House has not been hit lately. Mine, that is. The other ladies, possibly. Yeah.
Well, we hate to go, y'all. But you want to go through the whole ending, or you want me to do it?
Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Nothing else. All right, y'all know everybody we support. I'm not going to go through everybody tonight, but y'all know who we support. I say it enough.
Most of y'all in the chat.
Yeah, most of y'all in the chat.
Deep South Homestead, Holler Homestead, Permapastures.
Yeah, y'all go. And me and her's going to try to do better about posting the lives on everybody's pages. We'll start sharing it. And I might even start sending the Creepy Mountain video over there. It's just something I don't think about.
Love from Becca. What you mean, no love from Becca?
Huh?
Joe said, take care, no love from Becca.
Yeah, that's that Georgia in her. Yeah, she can't hit.
Or German, take your pick.
Oh.
Longest time you call me German.
Huh?
German.
Well, you do have that tendency every once in a blue moon. I got German too, so I can't say nothing.
No, you can't.
I don't.
Oh, Missy finally popped back in. She must have knew we were wrapping up and wanted to say bye, so she can go back to work.
Y'all have a good weekend. We'll see some of y'all Sunday over on woods walkers. And,
I'll be at work.
Huh?
I said I'll be at work.
Yeah. So, but y'all, I hope everybody has a good weekend. Stay safe. Maybe we won't have too many more. I think the weather's pretty much cleared up in Alabama till Monday. So, and I hope y'all, if you get out booger hunting or whatever you do in the weekend, you have a good time and have a safe time. And y'all pray for us tomorrow night if we go out to Talladega National Forest looking for a dog, man. I'm still kind of hesitant on this in some ways. I don't know. I got some
Reservations.
yeah,
I got reservations too.
I got some reservations on it. But I feel obligated to go just in case something did go on, be there. I don't know.
And
But-
definitely got that camera.
Well, yeah, have me a Canon with me too. But
Yeah. Yeah.
they say they've been seeing this one right here in this same area for a good bit last few months. I don't know.
What
Not
is it,
doubt
7 or
nobody.
8 sightings? Well, we heading back.
Yeah,
into the
somebody said
conversation
26,
instead of
but I don't
shutting her
think that-
down.
I don't think that was correct. But anyway, y'all have a good weekend. Love y'all. Be good to each other. Take care of each other, and we'll see y'all next time. Miss Martin, Rebecca from Cedar Creek Bottoms. We'll see y'all.
And Callie.
And her sister, Leah.
Yes, sister decided to take a nap. Bye, guys.
See y'all later. Bye bye.